What does it really take for a nation to defend its waters in today's high-stakes maritime arena? It's not just about ships. It's about strategy, timing, alliances, and the ability to adapt under pressure. As the Philippines takes a bold foot forward with a major patrol craft deal with France, the question isn't just what's being built, but what it could mean for the future of security in the Indo-Pacific. All vessels move to the coast. This isn't just about adding boats. The deal with French shipbuilder OCEA marks a turning point, deepening a strategic partnership and reshaping how the Philippines positions itself at sea. With tensions rising in the South China Sea, these fast patrol craft bring speed, reach, and agility, exactly what the Philippine Coast Guard needs to safeguard fishermen and defend its waters. But the message goes beyond capability. France is stepping further into the Indo-Pacific, while the Philippines is stepping up its defense posture. Across the region, allies are closing ranks against pressure at sea. And this deal doesn't just strengthen security, it fuels industry. With half the vessels built locally, it means jobs, technology transfer, and a stronger foundation for long-term defense. Manila is sending a signal. It's building strength, forging alliances, and refusing to stand alone in the face of growing influence from China. But this moment comes with pressure. These ships can't just be symbols. They must be fully integrated into real operations and strategy. Because in the end, hardware alone doesn't win outcomes. Readiness, coordination, and political will do. And one thing is clear. The Philippines is no longer content to endure. With France backing it, the country is choosing to stand firm, build smart, and chart its own course in the Indo-Pacific. The agreement became official when the Philippine Coast Guard signed a landmark contract with OCEA for 40 fast patrol vessels, each about 35 meters long. It's one of the biggest fleet expansions in Coast Guard history, aimed at boosting law enforcement, search and rescue, and maritime security, especially in contested waters. Valued at around $400 million, or roughly 25 to 26 billion pesos, the project is financed through French official development assistance. That eases the financial load while signaling something bigger. France isn't just selling ships, it's investing in a long-term partnership. This deal blends diplomacy, defense, and industrial growth. A standout feature: half the vessels, 20 of them, will be built in the Philippines with French technical support. That means more than fleet expansion. It means reviving local shipbuilding, upgrading skills, and moving towards self-reliance. The vessels are based on OCEA's FPB-110MK2 design. Fast, lightweight, and built for action. With speeds up to 35 knots and a range of about 700 nautical miles, they're ideal for patrol, interception, and rapid response missions. In high-stakes waters, speed and presence can make all the difference. The contract also includes logistics support, crew training, and possibly a local maintenance hub, ensuring these ships stay mission-ready long after delivery. OCEA isn't just handing over vessels, it's positioning itself as a long-term partner. And the timing couldn't be more critical. The South China Sea remains one of the world's most volatile maritime zones. From Scarborough Shoal to the Spratly Islands, confrontations are routine: blockades, militia swarms, and aggressive patrols. For the Philippines, presence isn't optional, it's essential. These 40 patrol craft dramatically improve its ability to monitor, respond, and assert its rights. Because in contested waters, the first to arrive and stay shapes the narrative and enforces the law. This also reflects a broader shift. The Coast Guard is evolving, from focusing mainly on domestic duties to taking on a bigger role in territorial defense and maritime enforcement, especially within its exclusive economic zone. And while large warships deter, these smaller, faster vessels do the day-to-day work. They patrol, intercept, document, and hold the line in the gray zones where modern conflicts unfold. For France, this is strategic too. With territories in the Pacific, it already has a stake in the region. Supporting the Philippines reinforces freedom of navigation and a rules-based order, while also strengthening France's role in Indo-Pacific security. This isn't just about defense, it's about building from within. By constructing half the fleet locally, the Philippines boosts its maritime industry, creates jobs, and develops critical expertise. It's the difference between buying security and building it. The partnership itself has roots. It began with the acquisition of the BRP Gabriela Silang, an OCEA-built offshore patrol vessel that proved its value in Philippine waters. That success built trust and paved the way for something bigger. Now, instead of one-off purchases, this new agreement signals a shift to long-term capability building. A unified French-backed fleet means better training, streamlined maintenance, and stronger operational cohesion. And it doesn't stop at patrol vessels. France is looking at broader cooperation, coastal monitoring systems, shipyard development, and logistics infrastructure. The goal isn't just to equip the Philippines, but to elevate its entire maritime ecosystem. There's also symbolism here. As pressure mounts in the West Philippine Sea, support from a major European power sends a clear message. The Philippines isn't alone. For Manila, it adds diplomatic weight. For Beijing, it's a reminder that the balance is shifting. Operationally, these vessels are game changers. With speeds up to 35 knots, response times shrink dramatically. Instead of arriving after incidents escalate, the Coast Guard can now act earlier, intervening, protecting, and asserting presence. Their versatility is just as critical. These ships can shift from law enforcement to disaster response to surveillance, adapting to the Philippines' wide range of maritime challenges, from typhoons to territorial disputes. They also fill a key gap in the fleet, bridging small coastal boats and larger offshore patrol vessels. That means the right ship for the right mission, improving efficiency and reducing costs. And with local construction comes another advantage: sustainability. Maintenance, repairs, and logistics can be handled domestically, keeping more ships operational and reducing dependence on foreign facilities. Strategically, these vessels can be deployed to flashpoints like Scarborough Shoal and Ayungin Shoal, ensuring constant visibility and rapid response. In today's gray zone conflicts, presence, speed, and persistence are everything, and these boats deliver all three. China is unlikely to ignore this. Expect strong diplomatic pushback and increased activity at sea. More patrols, more pressure, more attempts to assert dominance. But the message from Manila is unmistakable. It's no longer standing alone. This deal shows that partnerships matter and that the Philippines is building a network of support that extends beyond traditional allies. Across Southeast Asia, others will be watching. Countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia will see that outside powers are willing to invest in balancing the region. Still, success isn't guaranteed. These vessels must be more than showpieces. They need trained crews, clear rules of engagement, strong coordination, and integration into a larger strategy. Because in the end, true strength isn't measured by what you own, but by how you use it. And perhaps most importantly, this deal plants the seeds for something bigger, a future where the Philippines doesn't just import capability, but creates it. The Philippines' maritime workforce is about to be pushed to a higher standard, and it won't be easy. Skills need upgrading, systems need support, and the entire industry has to level up to meet global benchmarks. But if the country pulls it off, the reward is massive. A self-reliant maritime force backed by an industry that can build, maintain, and eventually design its own fleet. Still, this deal with France isn't without risk, and the clock is already ticking. First, time is not on Manila's side. Even with strong backing, building a fleet doesn't happen overnight. Ships have to be constructed, tested at sea, crewed, and fully integrated before they're truly mission-ready. If tensions in the West Philippine Sea spike faster than expected, the Philippines could find itself waiting on ships it urgently needs. Then comes the real test: sustainment. Buying vessels is just the opening move. Keeping them operational is where the real cost kicks in: maintenance, fuel, spare parts, trained crews. A fleet is only as strong as its readiness. Without consistent funding and long-term planning, even brand new ships can end up sidelined. There's also the question of capability. These 35-meter patrol craft are quick, flexible, and perfect for rapid response. But they're not built for deep ocean combat. They can't replace larger warships or long-range patrol vessels. Their edge is speed and presence, not dominance. Without support from drones, surveillance systems, and naval escorts, their full potential won't be realized. Coordination is another hurdle. For these vessels to truly matter, they can't operate in isolation. They need to work seamlessly with the Philippine Coast Guard, the armed forces, local agencies, and allied navies. That means shared communication systems, unified command structures, and clear rules of engagement. Without that, even the best ships risk becoming lone players in a team game. And then there's the diplomatic balancing act. France is now a key partner, but the Philippines also has deep ties with the United States, Japan, Australia, and others. Strengthening alliances while avoiding unnecessary escalation, especially with China, will require careful strategy. The goal isn't just to build strength, it's to do it without triggering instability. Because the real test of this agreement won't happen at the signing table. It will unfold in the months and years ahead. The first big checkpoint: delivery. The initial batch of vessels will roll out from French shipyards, followed by local production in the Philippines. How quickly these ships are deployed and how smoothly local construction ramps up will reveal whether the country is ready to handle a fleet of this scale. Then comes a critical decision: where to deploy them. If Manila stations these vessels directly in the West Philippine Sea, it sends a clear, unmistakable signal. This is territory it intends to defend no matter the pressure. Next is how they're actually used. Will they run routine patrols, shadow foreign vessels, escort Filipino fishermen, respond to emergencies? Their impact depends on how well crews adapt to fast-paced operations and how effectively they plug into joint missions with the military and other agencies. Back home, attention will shift to the shipyards. Can technology transfer from France truly spark a modern, competitive maritime industry? Which Filipino companies will rise to support it? And can this momentum turn into long-term industrial growth? Zooming out, the bigger picture starts to take shape. This deal could open the door to deeper cooperation, larger ships, advanced sensors, and integrated maritime awareness systems tied into a broader allied network. China's response will also shape what comes next, whether through increased patrols, diplomatic pressure, or information campaigns. And across Southeast Asia, other nations will be watching closely, weighing whether the Philippines' approach becomes a model for balancing regional power. Because this isn't just a purchase, it's a test case. A real-world experiment in how smaller nations can strengthen themselves by working with partners beyond their immediate region. At its core, the 40-vessel agreement with France is more than a contract. It's a strategic bet. A bet on stronger Coast Guard capabilities, on diversified alliances, on reviving local industry, and on standing firm in contested waters. There's something deeper at play here too. The Philippines is rediscovering an old instinct, maritime vigilance, but updating it for a new era with modern tools and global partners. The message is powerful. Instead of reacting to events in its own waters, the country is choosing to prepare, to build, and to take position. France didn't just bring ships to the table. It brought expertise, technology, and long-term commitment. The opportunity is real. The tools are there. Now it comes down to execution, because in the end, this moment will be defined not by what was promised, but by what's delivered. How the Philippines trains, how it integrates, how it sustains, and how firmly it stands its ground. In a region where control of the seas is becoming more contested by the year, one thing is clear: the Philippines is done drifting. It's taking the helm.